All right, I think we are live. Welcome back.
Hey,
Happy Hour. We got a full round tonight. If anyone's buying a round, everybody. And that barely discernible dark square over there, that is Rye Guy. That is Ryan Nilsson, who's in the house tonight. Hey, Ryan.
Hello. It's good to see
is.
everyone. I'm psyched to be at the Con Guy happy hour. And I know we were at a bit of a happy hour ourselves the other night. And it's great to be in this virtual happy hour. Welcome.
Yeah, he's driving through Gotham City right now. He's in the Batmobile.
I am vengeance. That's right, Luke. This is Gotham City. It's dark, it's seedy, and I'm just looking for trouble.
All right.
Ryan, can you tell people who may not know why are you broadcasting from inside a moving vehicle right now?
Broadcasting from inside a moving vehicle because my girlfriend is getting a cat today, and I'm accompanying her on the journey. This has been a trek. We're going north, and we're picking the little guy up. We're really excited, and so that's why it's dark. We're in the car. I'm not driving, but I'm psyched to talk everything pop culture with the Con Guys.
So just imagine if you will, this voice coming from the darkness that is called the Rye Guy. I love it that Ryan's on with us tonight. We met at our old stomping ground of Casa Vega, some of us last night, and me and Ryan and Katie and Luke, we all started talking Star Wars stuff I had no idea about. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I said, Ryan, you've got to come on tomorrow night to talk about that. So Ryan, is there a chance you're probably going to get to your location and we're going to lose you soon, right?
That's a high chance.
Okay. Well, you know what?
But I might be able to come back.
Let's first thing. Let's go around the room, guys. I am Jim Fry. You can find me at theconguy.com. But who else do we have? Cheese.
I'm Cheese on Couch, as you can see. Right there.
Right. And if you guys are arranged the same way that my screen is arranged, next is Derek.
Hi, my name is Derek Sams. I'm a contributor for the Con Guy, and every now and then I actually use social media. I'm kind of a bitter old man with things like that, but this is my Twitter handle at Con Guy Derek.
We're gonna have to start calling him Grizzly Derek, Grizzly Adams Derek.
I'd take that. Yeah.
Right
I
below
definitely have
Derek,
my COVID hair right now, so.
and right below Derek in the Brady Bunch squares is.
It's me, Katie, aka the Con Girl.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey Ben.
Hey everybody, it's me, old buddy Ben Cleaver, right here at BENKLIEWER.
Hey Ben Cleaver, what are you doing with that red cup?
Because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party.
And of course, over in the dark and dreary square, we have
Ryan Nilsson, former senior producer at Popcorn Talk, massive Star Wars fan, host of Star Wars News on the Popcorn Talk.
Yep.
And friends with the Con Guys.
It looks like, hopefully Ryan's not driving. It looks like he's going to crash any minute here.
No. I am pretty sure Ryan's a passenger, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he's told us he was a
Jim, he's
passenger.
told us twice. That
He's definitely the Robin in this situation.
Oh, sorry. So, by the way,
Jim's had a few drinks already, I see.
No, I've had none. I've had zero.
Very happy hour.
Jim's been drinking plenty of Neft vodka. Tonight's program is brought to you by Neft vodka. Reminding you to always drink responsibly.
And drive responsibly.
Yeah.
And drive
Well, and if you're doing both at the same time, it's not responsible.
Exactly.
By the way, my mother, who was watching last week, her bit of advice to me is, Jim, stop encouraging people to drink. That's bad. I agree.
It's a sponsor, guys. It's a sponsor. Come on. But also, wait, you agree drinking is bad?
No, I agree that me trying to get people to drink is not the best thing. But if you are at home and if you are not out driving around as Rye Guy is, I encourage you to sit down, have a nice cold one with us, and enjoy the happy hour because we got a lot of fun stuff about to happen. I got to say, hello, Cat Bloodgood. We're so glad to have you with us again tonight.
I love that name. Bloodgood.
Yeah. Bloodgood.
All right. So we are going to start, since Ryan's going to probably have to leave us pretty soon. One of the things that I do want to talk, Ryan knows one thing that I really want to hear about, but there's two things that we're going to kind of let him kind of lead. And Ben, I know Ben's going to jump in on this as well. But Ryan, first of all, last week you jumped in for like 2 seconds.
2 seconds. That's right. We were at. We went on another journey. It's been a lot of journeys whenever I call into the show. We went to see Tenet in San Diego.
Yeah.
And so we were literally like hopping into the theater, and just the connection, battery, it all went kaput. But it was a crazy experience. It was the first time I'd seen it, gone to a theater in almost 7 months. I don't know if it was necessarily worth it, just because like I had like a bit of anxiety, but like it was worth it for Tenet, because Tenet was amazing. I was absolutely mind blown. Forget what you've read or heard about it. It was an amazing film, like every Christopher Nolan movie kind of is. And this was like this made Inception look like an episode of the Teletubbies. It is unlike anything else. It's crazy. But like, yeah, it was a weird experience in that, like, you know, the seating was very separated. The stalls were like closed off in the bathroom, like half of them. I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't endorse going to the theater right now, but like we were really safe, and there were only like, I think 18 people in this IMAX theater. So it was a cool experience. I wouldn't endorse going.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding.
You will endorse the film, though.
I'm all on board on the film. The film is amazing. It's I can't really even talk about it because not because I don't want to spoil anything, but also it's just so unlike anything I've ever seen. It did not disappoint. It was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
How are the actor performances?
What'd you say?
What'd you think of Robert Pattinson? How did he do?
Yeah.
Let's see. Can you hear? Robert Pattinson was amazing, you guys. He is like.
Oh,
sorry. Did I cut out?
Ryan.
Yeah, you cut out for
I
a
cut
split
out,
second.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
Robert
5,
Pattinson was
4.
amazing. The acting.
This guy with
no.
that little trigger happy.
We
face.
get Robert Pattinson was amazing, so that's good to know.
Ryan, you're muted.
Oh, sorry,
Muted
Ryan.
again.
Did I mute him?
Sorry,
There
guys.
he is.
Am I good now?
Eddie, keep
Yeah.
you.
Robert
Here.
Pattinson was amazing.
Everyone was great in it. Kenneth Branagh was giving a Shakespearean performance, if I'd say so, and
I love
John
Kenneth
David
Branagh.
Washington was excellent.
Nice.
Well.
I am super stoked. I really want to see that. Is anyone else in around the tube here? Have any of you guys seen it yet? No. Okay. We live in LA. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I'll tell you what, though. Nobody is going to be as impressed with Kenneth Branagh's performance as Kenneth Branagh. He loves Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why he played Gilderoy Lockhart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he was great.
He was great.
You know, I had the opportunity to actually interview Kenneth Branagh this last year. He because he directed. Please tell me I'm not thinking of the wrong person. He directed Artemis Fowl, the Disney movie.
Did that ever come out?
It was on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Jim, that sounds right, but I can't remember.
It is because he was the one who was able to get Dame Judi Dench to participate. And I asked her, I said, "Well, so how'd you get involved?" She goes, "Kenneth dialed me up on the telephone and asked me." I'd do anything for Kenneth, so it was really great.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, I think if we're losing Ryan, I think we might have lost Ryan. He looked kind of frozen.
Frozen.
All right, Ryan's gone. So,
Maybe he'll be back.
all right, maybe he'll be back.
Very
Maybe
well, Ryan.
With kitten.
Yeah,
With
maybe
child.
they'll
With kitten.
that would be so cool. But there's a couple of other things Ryan really wanted us to talk about tonight, but we're gonna wait just a little bit to get to those. But first, Luke Cheeseman and Derek, I know that you're gonna have to go quickly, so we'll
Yeah, before too long.
Okay. But Luke, I want to start with something that you got in the mail today.
Yeah, I was gonna have you guys guess what it is, but you did put it on the sheet, so I think people already know, right?
Oh,
Did you guys see the sheet? Did anybody not see the sheet?
Wait, I don't recall seeing anything about a package that you got in the mail. I
Okay.
saw other topics.
Okay,
on the
whoever
Ben is
didn't
smiling.
see,
Ben is smiling.
Right here. It's on the
I'd
thing.
like to play a game called "What's in the Box."
What's in the box?
You
We need
get
to again.
what do we say? 5 guesses that can kind of lead to something.
Okay.
Okay, where is it from?
Are
Are you allowed to tell us?
Can I? Should it be yes or no, or should it? How should we do this?
I thought
Okay.
didn't we just give clues before? We just gave a list of clues.
Oh, yeah.
How about it's yes or no questions?
Okay.
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 Yes or no questions.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
I know what's in it, so I can't go. It's all down to Derek and Katie.
Okay.
Is it horror related?
No.
Is it from Hallmark?
No.
Okay.
But Hallmark has done things of it.
Okay.
Is it Star Wars related?
No.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda Yolen.
So glad
is
you're
it-
here.
it-
Oh, and also,
related.
one more.
Wait, hold on. I couldn't hear Jim was talking. What?
All right. Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
That's one of my groomsmen right there.
Yeah.
Oh. Does it have anything to do with Jaws?
One of the movies did. Actually, this one did. This one did.
Oh, so it's Back to the Future.
What part?
Well,
What
but-
about Back to the Future is it?
Okay. So it's
What
Back
kind
to
of
the
a
Future
thing is
2.
it?
So it's something
Yeah.
related to Back to the Future 2.
Yes.
And if it's going to be a particular item from Back to the Future 2, the one iconic thing you would probably get would be a hoverboard. So is it a toy hoverboard, like a model?
That is one of the items.
It's one of the items. So there's more than one item
more
in
than
this.
one item.
in this
Yeah.
box. Okay.
Just open
Okay.
the box, Luke.
Okay, now we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Is this close enough?
I got part of it,
Yeah.
so I should get credit for that.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
either
I
I was
think you
gonna
did
guess
pretty good.
Star Wars, Jaws, or Back to the Future. So,
Yeah.
I mean, 7 years
I mean-
of friendship has taught me a few things about Luke. Just saying.
This is good. This is
Is
good.
it an
I
almanac?
haven't even seen
You
them
gotta
in person
wait
yet.
and somebody keep guessing.
Is it an almanac?
A secret almanac from the future? Yeah.
Almanac, those things are dangerous.
He's right. He's right. They are.
Wow. Very dangerous.
Also, on a side note, I feel like we should always just show off like what the cup is we're drinking out of. I mean, obviously Ben always has a red Solo cup, but I figure we all have nerdy cups at some point. Oh, y'all
Mine is-
don't tonight.
Mine is orange Tupperware, so it's not that impressive. But
It's kind of a red cup.
Mine is it's a glass from a brewery called Frogtown Brewery, of which I'm a member.
And
I've been there.
Mine is
Still holding on, hoping Ohio State's going to be playing it this season.
Fingers are crossed. They're so close. They're so close. There's a chance.
Mine is from the Backstreet Boys Vegas residency show from Planet Hollywood.
And for those who are waiting for Luke to open up, I just want you to know we will be talking about some Star Wars stuff, some Star Trek stuff. Katie, we've got some supernatural news, which was a kind of a shocker to me today. And then also some DC and Marvel news. So we're going to be getting to those in just a second. But let's see what Luke has for us first.
All right, here's the one with the hoverboard.
Here, let's zoom
Ah,
in.
there we go.
So I got these from Super 7. They are currently selling these retro-looking Back to the Future things. So you look in there closely. Yep, there's a hoverboard.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Which, if you look in the background, I can jump up there after this.
Oh, yeah.
Once you guys are talking again, but I do have another one that I got that was an exclusive this year at Comic-Con, since they're doing kind of Back to the Future 35th anniversary, even though it's not this necessarily film's 35th anniversary. But they basically had 5 different items come back on sale. And I think they did have these last year, but they came out with them again. And this is the alternate 1985 Biff.
That's
There
cool.
in the robe. Bulletproof vest. Brilliant. We got Doc Brown in his
Rhodes.
2015 outfit.
Nice.
We don't need roads.
We got Griff,
Nice.
and he's got his pit bull in there. Look at that.
Sweet.
Cool. Of course, we got alternate. Well, not alternate, but this was the 50s Marty when he went back and there's two Martys.
Like Corey Feldman.
Yeah, look at the.
They're about to jump me. Well, then get out of there. Not me. The me that's on stage playing Johnny Be Good.
Love it.
I got to say something to Amanda. Says I miss our Casa Vega nights. Amanda, I do as well, and we're hopefully we're going to be able to all gather up there again. I know that Casa Vega is open for very small gatherings, so like if me and Luke show up and you show up and Ben show up, that's as big as we can get. So it's kind of hard to kind of gather people now. So we're kind of, I can't wait to see you back up there again. I've been enjoying the Tales of the Lizard though, Amanda. That's been awesome.
Mushu.
Sorry, I was
Mushu the bearded.
Wait.
Bearded dragon.
Happy birthday, Amanda. Luke's gonna sing happy birthday tonight to you.
We could all sing happy birthday.
Luke's gonna do a dance.
Do a little dance.
Happy birthday to you.
Sure.
Happy birthday there, Amanda.
It's the power of birthdays with more Back to the Future.
All right.
This was the Comic-Con exclusive one that came out this year. So this one's sold out and it's selling for good money. So if I ever wanted to resell, Back to the Future collectibles are smart ones to buy. Also, I think this one is still on sale. This was like a keychain kind of thing. But I did get this year, and I still got more stuff coming eventually. So,
Luke, I love the fact. Joe, I love the light on the ceiling in your room right there. The Batman, the bat light, the bat.
cool.
It's awesome.
And I bought that at a con, so it like projects the bat signal in a room. So if I haven't come off as a child enough, I have a Batman nightlight.
Listen, we are all children here on this podcast. You're in good
Speaking
company.
of that, Luke, when you buy stuff like this, do you ever open them up and play with them or display them, or do you keep them in a package? Because Toy Story 2 taught us what happens when you don't open toys and play with them.
Well, that's true. It kind of depends sometimes on the packaging. Like packaging for these Back to the Futures just looks cool. I almost feel like this kind of like
That's true.
makes it even cooler. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll buy two of them. Like if they're at a good price, because a lot of times you'll buy them and if you get before they sell out and they go online for like 3 times the price, I can buy two. Like I did that with the Jaws stuff that's on my shelf, and those I could actually play with because I bought one to keep in the box and one to play with. So sometimes I'll do that, and I did learn that from my friend Jake Jerley, who does a lot of our unboxings. He'll buy two sometimes.
That's how I sell. That's how I sell stuff at our store sometimes.
Yeah.
Like with certain ones, I'll be like, "Yeah, you need to buy 2 of those if you're an inbox collector."
And Amanda says,
yes.
Amanda says
Lego,
she opens toys anymore unless it's Legos.
Lego, you need to open. Really, with Lego, those I could definitely justify buying one set to keep in the box and one set to open.
Yeah.
Except the crazy expensive sets, which I would still open and put together. Because up on our shelf, we have our giant Hogwarts, we have Orthanc Tower, we have a TARDIS that's taken apart or opened and assembled, but we also have one that's still in the box. Yeah, Lego.
Plus,
Yeah.
Derek.
They all need to be boxes like Funko, where you can like open, you can take it out, still keep the box, put them back in, and it seems pretty good the way they do it.
It is until you get too many boxes and you're like, shit, where am I gonna?
Yeah, I'm kind of in that position.
Where
Hey,
am I gonna
Katie.
keep all these?
Katie, I've got a question about Funko real quick. I heard they just announced a second wave of pop pins
Yes.
with 4 new categories: My Hero Academia, Ghostbusters, Golden Girls, and Disney. Have you seen them yet?
I've seen them. We have not gotten any that in person that I've been able to see. I've seen people who have them on their bag or whatever at work, but I haven't seen any otherwise that people already have. Like they don't already have them.
What are these? These are just little pins?
They are the same size as a pop. They're like 4-inch pins.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That look like a pop, but they're a pin and they're a flat pin. They also, I believe, have a stand on the back so that if you're someone who wants to display it, you can, I believe.
That's cool.
But yeah, they're massive. They're made by Loungefly. But I haven't been able to buy any yet. I definitely want to try to snag the My Hero ones because I mean I got my My Hero pin by my desk right here, my fig
Whoa.
pin.
I see it. That's
Nice.
cool.
Hold on, it's kind of hard to see it, but yeah. But these are the fig pins that they're
Hey,
put
can
in,
you hold it up one more time?
they're put in these little boxes
Oh, cool.
so that you can keep it standing up if you want to. And they have an app where you can register, like every pin on it has a number so that when you look it up online, you can find out what series and what edition it is, like what batch it was made in. And then there's an app where you can track them and stuff like that. So I have 2 of them. This is just one of them that I have on my desk. And that one's already like I think it was like $12. So, I mean, for as far as pins go, I think the pop pins are like 15, which is not that bad for a pin that's like this big, but I'm not sure exactly how much they are. So,
Okay, so we have our official 6th member of the show, Brad. He's here.
Brad.
He says he's been buying 2 of each of the new He-Man Masters of the Universes so he can open up one. But he
but you
still
have
hasn't.
it.
He hasn't opened a single one yet. That's cool. And Brad's a big collector too, so he knows what he's talking about. And I know that they like what's the big convention, the PowerCon convention this past year, where they have a lot of that stuff. I don't know if they went online or not. By the way, Brad, Amanda says hello. Hi, Brad.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
So, obviously with the conventions closed, we're all ordering stuff online, and that's awesome. I mean, I personally prefer shopping in person to shopping online. So do you guys, that's one of the things I personally miss the most about conventions, other than the community aspect of it, is like actually being able to go to vendors and buy stuff on the floor that you maybe didn't know was there. And like, are you guys excited about being able to go on the floor and buy collectibles in person again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Particularly like just walking down Artist Alley and seeing stuff, like fan art and also original things, because you can actually meet the artist, you can get stuff autographed, and you can see things that like, it's a different experience when you're actually talking to someone who has created something and buying it from them directly, Yeah.
The thing I really miss about live conventions. Oh, happy birthday, Amanda, from Brad. The thing I miss the most.
Birthday from Brad.
The thing I miss the most about live conventions is being there in person to watch Jim get progressively drunk over the course of a weekend.
You don't need a convention for that.
Sorry, Jim's mom.
Sorry, Mom.
On plenty of fresh, clean-tasting Neft vodka, reminding you to always drink responsibly.
Responsibly, so not like Jim.
Not like don't drink like Jim, kids. Drink responsibly. Also,
Guys,
don't
my
drink.
mother is watching. Brad, thank you. By the way,
Mess.
but no, to Katie's question though, we did have like one of these live happy hours. Gosh, you'd think I'd been drinking all day. We had one of these live happy hours this past Saturday during DragonCon, the DragonCon virtual event, and I went and I did go shopping through a lot of the vendor halls and everything. And DragonCon actually was set up very cool, with 3 live TV channels going at the same time. It was kind of cool. But I do agree with Katie. Like it's hard I like to walk on the convention floor and see something that catches my eye and say, I want that. When you're online, you just see a lot of names of vendors. And I love these vendors for doing everything they can to get out there. But,
Yeah.
It's not when they have it all displayed. When you're at a booth on the con floor, you can set your booth up so it's eye catching. And so when you're walking around, hey, Stephen.
All of you guys got to see Steven when he was visiting, and I didn't, and it makes me really sad.
He's still here.
He's still here? Oh, good. I was afraid he'd gone. Well, Steven, come over. But at a distance of 6 feet or more.
Ben, what were you saying? That's a good point.
No, but it is the advantage of being there live. That's the great thing about a con, which has always been fun about conventions of any category. They're set up so that you walk through and you see things. That's the basis, whether you're at a comic book convention or some other kind of, an RV convention, whatever it is, it's set up. So yeah, I was going to point out this comment too. LA Comic-Con is still planning on happening as of right now, so says Amanda Yolen. Dates changed to December. Are any of you going to go? Right now, no, but I respect them for what they're trying to do, because they've done a whole thing where they've laid out a map. They're allowing only whatever 25% of the capacity of what they normally have, et cetera, et cetera.
Around 12,000 or something. 25 or somewhere between 12 to 25. And Amanda might know that, but it's a very small number. You're right. Yeah. But in addition to that, Ben, they're also having the virtual, I guess, cameras all over the place. So it's going to be mostly virtual with a live component of people being able to be there, which is interesting.
Katie was saying something.
Yeah, I think December is still a little bit of a ways away. I'm trying to remain optimistic and hope that things will get better by then. I want to have faith that they are going to do this well, and that because someone's going to have to do it no matter what happens. Even when things get cleared up, there's going to have to be some way to test it. And so I'm hoping, it seems like they're putting a lot of thought into it. I've been to some various places during this last couple months and seen how different places are handling the situation. Some are doing a really good job, some are not. So, and hopefully a lot can change in 3 months. Is that 3 months away?
What year are we in?
Yeah, we're still in 2020, the longest year of our lives.
Whoa.
But so I'm hoping in 3 months, maybe it'll be a bit different situation. I don't think we can make that call now. Like if it was next week, definitely not. But December is still a bit of a ways away. So.
Hey guys.
I'll give her a whirl.
Look at this.
Woo-hoo!
Good to see you guys. How's it going?
Dressed up for the occasion.
Good. I know.
Steven has
I
actually.
need to introduce Steven to the Con Guy family. For those of you who don't know, Steven's like the big executive producer dude that's got he's the one who put our show in the air.
That's true.
I greenlit
Why
you
did
guys.
you take a chance on us, Steven?
Because I was very green and did not know much at the time.
That's true.
I didn't know you too well yet.
By the way, one quick note. According to Amanda, the decision will be made this month for LA Comic-Con. They're supposed to put tickets on sale in the next couple of weeks. That's good information to know. Thank you,
thanks, Amanda.
Yeah.
Steven, would you go to LA Comic-Con in person in December?
Yeah, of course. I think there's a lot more people than we think that are going to be going to events more and more and more. I forgot what it was, but I'll have to look it up. There was one event that I was kind of surprised by, but it's in. They're moving full steam ahead in February. I want to look into it. I believe it was a music concert festival or something. But I think people are pretty open to the idea of being in crowds again. Does everyone else kind of feel that way?
I think there's a juggling act there, because people are like, okay, we want to figure out how to get a hold on this. We think there are vaccines coming out. But the fact of the matter is, Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. There's now over 250,000 cases of COVID that are tied directly back to Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. I love motorcycle rallies as much as the next guy. I actually used to ride.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
What'd you ride? Sorry.
Oh, my last bike was 2006 Honda Shadow Sabre 1100 V12.
I used to be the managing editor for Motorcyclist Magazine and Super Street Bike magazines. I like talking motorcycles. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know. We'll talk bikes. That's my third
life. Yeah.
I sold it 10 years ago. But so we now the thing is, the people are arguing over well, how many people does it really kill? Well, if you have an underlying condition, then it kills. And so then but then people are like, well, only 6% of them were only COVID. And then the rest of them were other things. And it's yeah, but a lot of people have other things. That's not something to go off.
So I don't think we should be getting into a conversation on all that. I think it's the truth of the matter is eventually things have to start happening again. Yeah. But what I think is when you look at the motorcycle rally, and let's take that for an example.
Sure.
That was kind of held as, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of an essence of fuck you, we're going to do it anyway. I think
you're right.
Yeah. So when people are coming from that perspective, you're going to have more people not wearing masks.
Sure.
Because it is a fuck you. But if we were to like open things and do more concerts and things like that and say, hey, masks are required, I think that if we're really going to say, for an example, a Comic-Con or something that's going to have thousands of people packed in, you can say that the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally is attributed to 250,000 cases or whatever the number is, but why are the protests not attributed that same number? I would say probably because everyone's wearing masks, right? So the protests have kind of been something that if you were going to look at it from like a macro viewpoint, the protests kind of prove the fact that we could open concerts and things if people were being careful, right?
A bit of a litmus test.
Yeah. So I think everyone's looking at what's going on with the protests, and you can't use the rally for an example because that's people who are literally using that as a thing to say freedom, whatever.
Yeah,
But
Brad.
oh man, God, thanks, Brad.
But this is con view. The con view.
For those who are listening to just the audio, Brad has chimed in with guys, and Katie. I already watched The View today. Laugh out loud.
To which I respond with, why?
Stephen, I think you make a really solid point. If I think you're right about, and I stand corrected on the idea of the Sturgis rally versus something where all precautions are taking place and people are coming in with an idea of preparedness. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but point.
I've got to Goldberg it and say, guys, I think we all agree. We just got to be smart and sensible in how we do. He's with a new kitten. He's with the.
Is Ryan coming back?
I'm answering Amanda's question of where's the seventh member of the team, Ryan, and I said he's with new kitten. So hopefully
we replaced him with Summer.
No, but
he's
by the
getting
way,
a new kitty.
Hey,
Hi, Summer.
Hey, Summer.
Ryan's replaced.
She go to LA Comic-Con. Come on.
By the way, I don't want to diminish this topic, and I think we should. I think it's a good topic for a show for like a further discussion, because I'm not sure we're prepared to really like. I would love to have more information in front of me before I say like I believe this or I believe this. I believe we need to be smart and sensible, because I have met Steven for a drink at Casa Vega. We show up in our masks. We sit on opposite sides of the table, and we do it smart, and we don't have 100 people around us. We're the only people in the tent usually with Luke. So there's ways.
I was with you and Luke that one time. Like it's
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. When you look at virology, viruses evolve downwards. They don't evolve to be more deadly unless it's being engineered that way. And if
you're talking smart stuff, stop it.
Yeah, no, but if we look at COVID kind of over the course of its panning out, I feel like way more people have it than we think, but I feel like it's become way more deadly. Because more and more less deadly, less and less deadly.
More and more less. Yeah.
Because when you look at all the graphs and everything that talks about deaths, the deaths are going way down. When I talk to all my friends who are nurses, they say that like the hospitals aren't full of patients. The hospitals aren't even experiencing a lot of people dying every day anymore. Like the peak was terrible, and I think that a lot of the things that the country had to do was standard. Like we needed to do something. Yeah. But I feel like it's now time to really kind of figure out, okay, well, like hair salons, like really, like let's kind of start getting a few things out there and be
Nancy. Oh, anyways, I almost wanted to bring up the Nancy Pelosi thing today when Ryan was like, I went to see Tenet, but I don't think anybody else should. I'm like, stop being a Nancy. I'm gonna go.
I'm sick of seeing talk show hosts with bad hair. I'm just really so bad. My hair is like a total mess.
By the way, no, I think it is smart. And like to Ryan's point, I got to throw this in. I have heard like it seems like it changes every other day, but I've heard that the virus is mutating. It is now. Please, I am not a scientist. I don't pretend to be one. Yeah. I read somewhere that it's mutating. It is a little bit less deadly, but a whole lot more contagious. So I don't know what that means. It's still like. It's a watch. It's still the same. It is what it is.
Yeah. So putting this out there.
Okay, Derek.
None of us are epidemiologists. None of us are economists. None of us are sociologists. None of us are experts on policy or on the law or on, anything like that.
Disclaimer.
But we are all thinking individuals. We're all adults here, except Jim. I'm just kidding. Jim's awesome.
Why do I get all the abuse?
Jim, you're just fun to pick on because you're a good sport.
Peter
and
Pan.
you're funny.
It's usually me.
Yeah.
So I'm happy it's not me. So
Yeah, but just finishing that thought, like, if we talk about any of these things, we are amateurs, and all we're going on is just stuff that we have read or what we've seen in the news. And all of us are going to have very limited information, no matter how much we are trying to research stuff. But between us, we've got some opinions on it, and I think. I don't know. I think we're fans. We're here to talk about conventions and what we would like to see.
On a side note, less people.
Yeah.
I'm cool with less people because people can be kind of.
I'll preface too. My dad does this for his job at the EPA. He works on kind of containment plans and kind of spreading plans and things like that. And this isn't even like the top of their list for things that they're planning against right now. Like it's gotten past that point where now it's like on to the next phase. We have other things to worry about, and this is the preventative measures are in place. And as we come out of it, we're not in the best situation. Obviously, 200,000 deaths is not a good situation, but I think we're in the phases where it's not what it used to be. And I'm ready for some Comic Cons because I don't know how I'm going to survive.
This is true. That being said, if tickets do go on sale to LA Comic Con in the next couple of weeks, just so you know, I'm going to try to get one that in December, if things look a little bit better, I'm going. I will go safely because go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Because I said right now, no. But
Yeah.
I don't know what things are going to look like in November. You know,
Yeah.
Maybe
December.
whatever happens in the election, half of the country's pissed off, and we go into civil war, and then no conventions for anyone. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh, can we not say stuff like that?
Hey, more people will see that Civil War than they did Marvel's.
Just wear this costume right there, the Marty McFly.
Hey, we have some other stuff I want to talk about.
Full body suit.
Ben, question. If they gave you an option to pay $200 for a cardboard cutout for Hall H, would you do it?
If I have a job by then maybe. I like here. This is nerd adjacent, if I may. Has anybody been watching the NBA playoffs? I go with me. I'm taking you to Mordor and bringing you back to the shop.
I don't watch sports on TV if I can help it.
If anybody has seen the NBA playoffs, they've done a really cool thing. So at like baseball stadiums right now, they've got cardboard cutouts of people in the seats. At the NBA playoffs, they have live Zoom video feeds of people lined up in the stands. So it's a live feed of people watching the game from their computer. It's hysterical.
That's really funny.
Do you think that's got to be
Jim sleeping.
okay?
Tony Robbins did a seminar with 10,000 people, and it was in a huge stage surrounded by monitors with all the different Zoom call things, and they'd like feature different ones and stuff like that. It's kind of like whatever company developed that technology is booming right now.
But like, think about it. So in the future, that's going to be incorporated into some sort of like movie or TV, and people are going to be like, "There's no way this is real," and they're going to be like, "There's no way this really happened," and it's going to be
actually just the way we're getting, because we want here, guys, and Jim, I'm sorry for this, but
Wait, I gotta say, my friend Kathy Matthews is on the line. Hello, Kathy from Florida.
Hi, Kathy Matthews.
I love Kathy. It's so great that she's here. She just stumbled in, and it's very late where she's at. So, hey Kathy. All right, go ahead, Steve.
So guys, what do we have now, right? We need a total revamp of our police force, and we just got the technology for all those screens, right? Minority Report.
All right.
Pre-card,
Okay.
guys.
One thing I really want to see right now is how people work their cosplay around wearing a mask.
Yeah.
so easy, easy.
Well,
Like-
to have actually a good, effective mask, and like I'm curious to see the creativity people put into that. Like, because you're gonna have some people just wearing lots of nerdy masks just for fun, but also like, people are gonna come up with some really elaborate stuff.
No, you're gonna have the
covers their
hyper
face.
realistic masks, and people are gonna be like, "Put a mask on," because
We're
they're
gonna
not gonna know that it's a mask.
We're going to see a lot of, I think, plague masks utilized at conventions.
Yeah.
The ones that leave the bottom half of your face uncovered and just have the long nose.
Yeah, but I think you can still get ones that are covered. I've seen some around.
I think so. Yeah.
But I also think you'll just see people start to cosplay characters that maybe they haven't cosplayed in a while. For example, there's 2 characters in My Hero Academia who wear masks, and I think people will choose characters like that already have masks. Bucky Barnes is getting his own show, and he has a mask on, so I feel like cosplayers, I'm not really worried about them wearing masks because they're already a very socially aware group, well, for the most part. And the pictures that Jim and Luke took at the Comic-Con in San Diego, like, you can just wear a plain black mask or a colored mask that matches your outfit, and no one really bats an eye. It actually kind of makes people look a little bit more badass, in my opinion. So
I'm telling you, this is the safest costume, the Marty McFly.
Brad, what's that even mean? Like Gaga at the VMAs, lots more masks. Sorry, guys, a lot more boobs. So, Brad, I'm not even sure what that means, but
I mean, there's already a lot of boobs in cosplay.
This is
Yeah, I
true.
want to be the skeleton astronaut from Scooby Doo. That'd be the best.
Hey, guys, but wait, Luke, what were you showing us?
Oh.
Looks like a hazmat
I
suit.
was just saying the Marty costume from Back to the Future. This
The
would be
Oh,
the
the
safest
hazmat.
costume you could possibly do in these times.
The hazardous radiation suit.
Yep.
Vader from
Stranger
Planet
Things.
Coaster.
Stranger Things also had them.
Hey, guys, so I do want to jump into something. Derek, since Derek is our Star Trek expert, Derek, are you aware that a brand new trailer dropped today? And
I heard it from you as we were talking about doing the show tonight. I have not seen it. I know it was Star Trek Day today.
Today was Star Trek Day on CBS All Access.
Yeah, I still haven't watched season 2 of Discovery. Like, season 1 was okay, but I wasn't super excited about it, and so I haven't got caught up. So I guess I'm less keen on the trailer. I'm sorry.
Check out the poster, though. Look at the poster from Star Trek Discovery. That's badass.
Yes.
I
It
like
was
it.
cool. And I like Sonequa Martin Green's hair in it.
Yeah, long.
Yeah.
It looks cool. But so
That's
do you
cool
know anything? So how much did you watch of Star Trek season 2 or 1 or 2?
Well, I watched all season 1 of Discovery, not season 2. I watched Picard, and I'm curious about Lower Decks. I'm not sure that I love the idea. I mean, the trailer was kind of funny, but
Tell me what Lower Decks is. Remind me again.
Lower Decks is an animated comedy. And the animation style looks a lot like Rick and Morty. And part of me is kind of like, what if you just did something else that was like a parody of Star Trek instead of making it an actual Star Trek show? Because it doesn't seem like it's even in the same universe and fitting with the tone of what Star Trek has always been.
Yeah.
And it's not like Star Trek has not been funny in the past too. So I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Yeah, for those who don't know, CBS All Access, a couple of weeks ago, there was this thing called DC Fandome, of which there's the other half is this coming Saturday. But today, CBS All Access, the streaming service, they had an all-day Star Trek day featuring episodes and information about every Star Trek series that's ever been in existence, the films. They had panels throughout the middle of the day. It was really cool. It was like their Hall H event just for Star Trek. I did not get a chance to see it. I don't think did any of you guys see any of it?
I was at the zoo, so I'm being serious. I've been at the zoo all half the day.
ZooCon.
No, but what was cool is they dropped the trailer for Discovery. They also dropped there was a panel for the Star Trek Strange New Worlds panel, which they came out and they said it's going to be like the original Star Trek. It's episodic, not serialized like the most recent Star Treks have been. Like Picard, heavily serialized. Discovery, very much serial. By serialized, we mean like one long story that's unfolding over the entire season. But in the new one, Strange New Worlds, it's going to be a new planet, a new weird thing every episode, which
I like the sound of that. Yeah.
I like the sound of that too. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the smartest way to do Star Trek because it like all of the themes from the original series still apply today. Like I think the half black, half white guys are like one of the most iconic Star Trek episodes ever that you can
very cheap, really on the nose, but yes, still iconic. I mean,
exactly. I mean, there's the more subtle ones you can reference, obviously, but like they've always been really good at playing to like the times, and we haven't really gotten that. Like Picard was not what I expected, like it was entertaining, but I was kind of like, this isn't the same feel. I don't really enjoy Picard in this way, so I'm kind of excited for a more episodic Star Trek again.
Derek, what'd you think of Picard?
I mean, it's hard to say. I have mixed feelings. There are things about it that I liked. I mean, I liked a lot of the actors, a lot of the characters. I mean, my wife and I watched it together, and she's like, I just don't care about any of these people. I care about Picard because of his history, but nothing in the series endeared us to him specifically. They told us that he, was doing some great things to rescue a whole race of people off screen before anything happened, but we didn't see him doing a lot with that when it started. And then the other characters, just like, I don't know, we just didn't quite attach to them. Now and then there'd be some interesting stuff, and then like just the story itself, I was interested in some things, but not really grabbed the way I always was. I didn't see Picard really doing all his really great Picard stuff that we've always come to love about him. So there was that. However, I still love Patrick Stewart. I love Brent Spiner, and we got both of them a lot. I usually like Alison Pill too. Her character kind of was frustrating, but also,
it was hard to like it. Who was the first mate, the Captain Picard's first mate, the lady who was off growing marijuana, basically? Like, who was that?
She's a new character.
Yeah, new character. I can't remember her name.
It's been a bit. She was my favorite character on the series. I liked her more than I liked Picard. I liked her quite a bit. She was. Was
anyone else completely thrown off by the woman gangster who looked exactly like a young Diana Troy, and then it wasn't Diana Troy?
Yes.
It threw me so off. I was like, "Oh, that's Troy. Yeah. She's now like a gangster kind of thing." And it's like, "Oh, it's
that would have been fun."
Not.
That was my favorite part. I think was when we actually got to meet Troy and Riker and see where they lived and meet like their kid. And
they just retired in Colorado, basically. It's like
basically, which it works for them.
And no spoilers. The Picard's, the Riker storyline as it played out throughout the series, I loved it. That was so good. I liked that quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I can't say I was a big fan of the Data storyline. I'm sorry, I can't say. I don't.
It was nice to see him though.
Yeah, they could have. It was okay, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm not going to do the spoilers. I'm not going to give stuff away. The way the season ended, some of it seemed like it was a little obvious where they were going after they introduced certain elements. And I was still like, oh, maybe they'll still surprise us. But like, no, they did exactly what it looked like they were going to do. And I'm like, you could have made that more interesting, I think.
Right.
And, yeah.
It turns out that this entire season was just Q watching TV and Picard sitting next to him.
If they brought Q back, that would be really interesting.
I do have to ask you, Derek, did you like the way that Picard, the character, again, no spoilers, how this, I guess we could talk spoilers if we wanted to, basically the end of the season, like his character ended up being something very non-Picard-like,
Yeah, I'm wondering which aspects you're talking about, and I'm wary of saying it.
Spoiler alert. If you're watching, guys, we're about to reveal something really, really big. 1, 2, you got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
He died and became an android. If you guys didn't, Picard's now an android.
Yeah, but an android that's indistinguishable from a human in a way that will also age, but they just basically gave him longer life because he had like a neural degenerative disorder or something that he was going to die really soon. Yeah. It was like, anyway, I was not crazy about that because that was the thing. Like they established this thing where they had Nagola and they're like, oh, they've already established this terminal illness that he's got. So they're just going to put his consciousness into this other thing. And it was obvious, like way too soon, I think.
Why couldn't they do that with Data? Why couldn't they do that with Data?
Right.
That I hated that. Okay, we're still in spoiler territory. Last thing I'm going to say. They got rid of Data for no reason at all. Let's disperse him because he wants to die to experience what it's truly like to be a human. Nobody wants to do that.
They already did that with Nemesis. So.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we got to throw it to Brad real quick. Dune, the pre-teaser went up today. Full teaser premieres tomorrow. That's very interesting. And then, hey, there's a viewer. His name's Matthew Hernandez. There's a Black Mirror episode on virtual attendance of events. Oh. Thank you for. I did not know that.
I haven't watched Black Mirror yet.
I've watched it all. Which one?
It's the episode with the dude who, he's sitting in the room and he has to pay to have ads not be on his walls. Basically, I think it's that same episode where like people vote to or get in a different thing, and then he's off the job.
Oh, what's it called? It's like 10 million credits or.
Yeah, he's on the bicycle. It's the one where he's biking for money.
Is it Daniel Kaluuya?
Yeah.
Okay, and the actress who's in Downton Abbey and was just in Brave New World on Peacock.
I haven't seen it.
I like the actress, but I can never remember her name. I wonder if that's the same one he was referring to, though. It is basically like virtual attending events, but
yeah,
there might be another one that's more directly about that. I don't know if we're talking about the right one.
I need to watch all of Black Mirror. I hear they're very short seasons, and I only watched one episode where a guy had to have sex with a dog in front of all of the world.
And it was the prime minister.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. All I know is it turned my stomach. I was like, I don't like this. So I hear it gets a lot better after that. So I trust you guys. Hey guys, let's jump onto a topic here that in case Derek needs to jump, but I just want us to.
Yeah, we did talk Star Trek, so maybe I should go now. And Ryan just sent us pictures of the kitten.
Did he?
I'll see if I can get him on.
All right.
Screen.
So I'm going to sign off so you guys can bring the kitten on in my stead. And
can we say something to Derek? We haven't seen Derek in a while. Derek, it's awesome to see you here tonight. This was great. Love you, my friend. It's
great seeing you guys. And I love voicing opinions about Star Trek and other things.
I love you voicing your opinions.
I'm telling you, Derek, you're going to get the Con Guys a Dollar Shave Club sponsor yet.
That's awesome.
Hey, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Dollar Shave Club is...
They're not paying us yet, Katie. Stop.
I'm just saying.
Derek, tell your lovely wife that we love her and we miss her as well.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, have a good night, you guys. See ya.
Bye, Derek.
Bye-bye. Oh, and then there were 5. Where's Ryan at? Hey,
he said he doesn't know if he can join us because the kitten is asleep.
Whatever. Kittens can wake.
I think he might be driving now too, as well. So
in weird, unrelated pop culture.
I think he's holding the cat.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
And my wife was like, "What are they thinking? Why would they do this?" I was like, "They had Sean Spicer on last year. They don't care. They want to get as controversial of a figure as they can." And
I agree.
Like, oh yeah. That's
Did you hear that they reopened the case on her husband though?
Yeah. Heavy prediction. Somebody came out of the woodwork and brought a new witness to the murder. But hey, heavy prediction. Them putting her on Dancing with the Stars is really just a sting operation by the FBI to try to get her to admit something on camera.
Ooh, yeah. What was that show where the guy did it? Profile of a Murder or something on Netflix or HBO. Where
it wasn't
going to arrest her in the middle of a dance.
Making a Murderer?
No, it wasn't Making a Murderer. It was the other one with the old white dude who's really, really creepy.
He walked off camera and he goes, "What did I just do? Of course I did it."
Yeah, his mic was live and they record him saying some stuff.
Hey Ben, I do have to get your opinion on some stuff right here.
He's got opinions.
Ben has an opinion. The expert. There's a strange hand coming into Steve's ear.
But ignore that. I want to know Ben's opinion on what you want to know his opinion on.
Ben is our Star Wars expert here. And Ryan actually brought up some conversations yesterday that I was hoping he was going to be on today, but he is not. Ben, Gina Carano. I'm going to pull her up. And by the way, we're going to be really open and nice about this because we don't hate anybody. Let me see. Here, I'm going to pull this up. Are you aware? Are you aware of the controversy with Gina's tweets, Ben?
I am.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable weighing in on this at all?
Listen. I just had a thought.
By the way, we have her here right here with a couple of her tweets. Actually, I didn't realize there's a couple different avenues her tweets went down. One, she's calling for the government to open everything up. She says, "Open up your businesses and churches. Put whatever regulations you want to because that is your right, but open them up." You're telling me COVID-19 knows the difference between a protest and praise and worship? I haven't even been to church in over a decade, but I sure would go now. We should have segued into this from Sturgis. And then her second one, though, was, in my experience, screaming at someone that they are a racist when they indeed are not a racist. And any post or research you do will show you those exact facts. Then I'm sorry, these people are not educators. They are cowards and bullies. This is her words. This is not Jim Fry. I just want you guys to be aware of that.
What's that second one referring to? I mean, I understand the broader situation, but is that in response to a specific thing?
Yeah, she posted a picture. There's a famous picture of a black and white photo from World War II of a Nazi salute, of a bunch of people doing a Nazi salute except for one person. Mm-hmm. And she called out, she goes, that one person, because it's the story of that person refused to do it. He was in love with somebody on the other side. And he says, she was like, true love conquers hate. And she was trying to make a point. I personally believe she was not trying to express racist thoughts, but what has since happened is a large portion of Twitter has come after her and said, you need to prove you're not racist. You need to post Black Lives Matter content on your Facebook, on your Twitter. And she's like, you can't yell at me and force me to do stuff. So she's kind of in this tug of war right now with this. So that's what the second one is about.
So there's an article on Bleeding Cool today that's kind of a response. Okay. And what I think one of the editors wrote it, and he really, to be perfectly transparent, he has a large disagreement with her. Mm-hmm. But it was more on the principle of arguing, and it's like he was like, "Hey, Gina Carano has another season of Mandalorian coming out. She doesn't have to worry about any of this stuff." So like, and so he kind of poses it that way. But it's an interesting read if you want to get one. It's an opinion piece. I think celebrities and actors and people, you know, if they want to speak their voice on social media, that is great and fine. And I'm one of the big proponents of like freedom of speech, but also on the flip side of that, freedom of speech protects us from the government. It doesn't protect us from other people's responses to our speech. And so, you know, yeah, we're in a pickle. We're in a pickle. Yes, we need to be able to get out and do our jobs and go to the places. Jesus, I'm going to watch Ryan and Kelly now, says Brad.
Brad, we're getting through this. This is good information.
But listen, I'm never going to be one to be like, these celebrities shouldn't be tweeting. Blah, blah, blah. Like, who was it that told LeBron to shut up and dribble? Like, I'm not going to be like that. Like, yes, voice your opinion. Everybody, there's a great line in Kevin Smith's film, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where he says, the internet is a communication tool that goes the world over for people to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another. And, you know, the internet has given everyone in America a voice, and people have chosen to use that voice to bitch about movies. And the internet gives everybody a voice, and we have the freedom to use that voice to say whatever I want. Then on the other side is like, hey, maybe get a publicist. Like, when you are in that kind of a position, I don't know what Disney thinks of this. Like, Disney might have an issue with this, her mouthing off like this. But then again, you look at the other side of it, and you had Chris Evans, while he was still playing Captain America, doing very politically progressive and very critical of President Trump and the Republican Party from his platform. So
I think the issue is that people don't see the fact that opinions are based on experiences. And the truth of the matter is she has a right to say whatever she wants, and the other side has a right to say in rebuttal to whatever she wants. Yeah. The problem is if you're trying to change somebody's mind and change their perspective on what you are actively saying is not what they're saying, you can't just then do what they're saying you're doing. And then at that point, for them to demand her to say something is kind of like, then it would be disingenuous, then it would be performative. So it's like, I don't know. I think that everyone right now, especially like social media, is not real. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's a separate world of unreality.
Hey, now we exist on social media.
Exactly, but like,
it's still a world that exists.
It is a world that exists, and it still has consequences in reality. But it is not the end all be all. But like in her case, I think that she's had an experience that's led her to have that opinion, and they've had an experience that have led them to have the opposite opinion. The social media, the great part of social media is when people try to bridge those experiences and explain things in a way that's like, hey, this is this and this is that, and maybe you could see it from our perspective, and maybe we can see it from your perspective a slight bit. Let's bridge this. When it becomes so militant, when it becomes so hostile, like you were saying, Ben, you're not going to be the one who says, hey, LeBron, shut up and dribble. Like, it's much more, conducive and productive to be like, hey, LeBron, yeah, but like, this is the other side of things. And like, you're talking like this doesn't exist, when in reality, this does exist, and you're building a fortune off of people who are not. Let's just leave it lightly. So like, I don't know. I don't think that I don't believe in cancel culture. Right. I believe that there should be just a level of understanding between everyone of like, hey, like, if you grew up in a neighborhood in Chicago, you'll have a completely different experience and opinions based on somebody who grew up in a neighborhood in Los Angeles.
I agree. I'm so tired of every time somebody says something that somebody doesn't agree with on Twitter or wherever. Yeah, they get canceled. Or what is the thing? Cancel party? What is
culture.
It?
Well, it's cancel culture.
There's a Twitter handle. It's like the cancel party for somebody, or somebody is canceled, and you start throwing a party for cancel. I'm like, just shut up. Like, I think that I agree with Steven. We all have an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. I just hate the fact that online, so many people think they have to toe a line to this side or this side. Sadly, today it's either politics or Star Wars. Star Wars is as bad as politics. You believe? Did you like the last Jedi?
There's very few things that everyone can have an opinion on. There's so many niche audiences. Like, there's not, like, Game of Thrones was the last big thing that everyone was watching together. Now there's Star Wars, there's Marvel, but those are so, just like politics, when everyone's so involved, it's going to be divisive. But the thing with what she's saying about churches is, like, I'm not religious, guys. I'm very not religious.
Steven.
One year of Catholic school made me unreligious, but
that would do it to me too.
Older,
I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
As I've grown older, I've learned to really respect the foundation of religion and what it does for people and the sense of community it provides. So when she's saying those kind of things, it's like, I have to respect the fact that that's something that she cares deeply about, and it's affecting her state of mind to not be able to experience that during this quarantine. Just as some people feel that same way about not being able to go to a movie theater or not being able to go to the hair salon. A lot of people turn our practices and the things that we do as a routine, that becomes their therapy and their meditation each week or each month.
I do want to defend her statement about churches, though, because she hasn't been for 10 years, but it's still something special that she holds in her heart. Because I know she's been attacked, like, well, you should go to church. Shut up. If she believes strongly that she wants to defend something and it's something that was special to her in her past, she should have every right to do so. And she makes a good point that, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm not going to go down there. But she's like saying, why are you shutting down churches, but you're letting this thing be open? And on the other side of that, there's a very logical group of people said, you know what, that's dangerous. So like, there's danger on one side, there's freedom on the other side. In this, that sounds terrible.
Jim, I think
I don't want to put it in those terms, but I agree with you, Stephen. What I say is, I'm just tired of people destroying people because they don't agree with them on Twitter. Shut up, and just love people a little bit more.
But there's nothing we can do about that, because when people are going through anonymous channels, they'll do whatever they want. I'm just saying, when we're in a country like the United States where our healthcare standards are not really what they could be. And when people don't have access to therapy when they need it, and they don't have access to sometimes even a sense of community, having an hour a week where you can get in touch with other people and get sermons, or at least get a form of therapy, which I will say, if you have a good priest or a good minister, it is a kind of therapy every week. Yeah. And we're dealing with something that nobody's ever dealt with before, ever. It is completely new, and people are losing their jobs. People aren't working. They're stuck at home. They're going through a lot of mental stress. And a lot of these people are people who are too proud to get therapy, or have never done therapy before. Or again, like I was saying with church, it might have been their therapy subconsciously without them knowing. And now without it, it's making and pushing them further and further.
I'm going to say that I do go to church and I miss it. It's been 6 months. I really miss it. I want to get back to meet together with people that I really care about and encourage me in my faith. I do miss that. And Brad had a good comment here. He goes, 10 to 15 years ago, we used social media to escape the real world. Now we use the real world to escape social media. Is the real world still on?
It is, but we don't use that real world because it's terrible.
I know. I do want to move us along just a little bit. Yes or no, do we talk about the Rosario Dawson controversy, or do we jump over?
jump
Yeah,
to
I think
something
we need
else.
some
We
happy
need to lighten this thing up a little bit.
I
Yeah.
remember Ryan was here to talk
I
about
didn't even know.
Huh?
I didn't even know there was a Rosario controversy.
She's in a legal dispute over possibly causing violence to a trans man who was living in her guest house last year. I don't, you know what? Allegedly. I don't want to talk about it right now unless there's more facts about
Valid point. I'll have to read up on that and get back to you.
Yeah.
But here's a good thing that we were discussing last night, and Katie, you were there, and Ryan, you were there. And let's do this in all due respect, and we can't continue to talk. We've gone over an hour, so we do need to wrap up here fairly quickly. But Black Panther 2, which direction do we feel or think would be the best direction for Marvel to go with that? And this sounds like just asking that question sounds disrespectful. I don't want to do that. Chadwick Boseman, amazing human being, amazing actor. He cannot be replaced, in our hearts and in the inspiration that he gave so many millions of kids, so many millions of people. But that being said, if you were Kevin Feige, which direction are we going?
Shuri. 100% Shuri. And I think that I have no doubts that's been the plan. There's no way that that the execs or Feige didn't know what was going on with Chadwick. And I'm sure
even they did not know.
They didn't know.
Are you 100% sure? Like, really?
Yes.
He made a statement about. Didn't he say something about it? Like Kevin Feige said something
Feige
about it.
did not know. He was written. They sent an email to Kevin Feige 30 minutes before Chadwick passed. An email that Kevin didn't read until an hour after Chadwick passed. So Chadwick and his family kept it extremely, extremely on the down.
I'm thinking more in lines with long term for Marvel, right? Like, would he have realistically let them write a second movie with him, knowing this was going on?
Yeah. He thought he was coming back. He honestly thought that he could beat this, and he was going to be able to be strong enough to come back. God bless him. God bless him.
That's even sadder. God, it's so sad already.
Yeah.
I know.
Did he announce it, or was it the director at D23?
What?
I think it was the director, because at D23, I can't remember if the Chadwick came out or the director and announced Black Panther 2 at D23.
They did.
It was both, and they were both there.
It's in pre-production. It's been in pre-production for a while.
It is changing, and I agree with Amanda, and I agree with Steven. In the comic books, Shuri took over as Black Panther. It's what has to happen. But besides, Latisha, is it Latisha Wright? Is that her name? Mm-hmm. One of the most likable characters. She's a gospel singer that had to be convinced to join the MCU because she didn't want to give up her gospel singing. I'm like, you go, girl. I love her so much.
Awesome.
I do believe. I think that I'm on board for Shuri to take the reins as well, as I said last night. And I have the faith that Marvel will still do Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa justice in the beginning of the film, and then pass off the reins. I feel like that's the best way to do it, since it is something that already happened. It's not changing the story in any way. It's just progressing it. I mean, they did set it up with characters like Steve Rogers. They've set up the Falcon. They set up Bucky, who could both possibly take over the reins. And were they planning that for if someone passes? No, but they still had these wheels going because they know that certain characters can't go on forever. And so I think that with the later Marvel movies, they're trying to take those steps for, okay, what if this person doesn't want to do 8 movies?
Yeah.
Let's have a backup plan. And I think that's very smart on Marvel's part, that they're having these backup plans in case something happens. And of course, this is the worst case scenario. But, in Harry Potter, they had to recast Dumbledore because the actor passed away. And of course...
Wait. Oh, wait. No, never mind. That's between movies 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay,
so,
never mind.
With Dumbledore...
Spoiler, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, that movie has been out for
20 years.
Yeah. So, and they obviously, for situations like that, you have to recast. You don't have a situation. But it's good that they took these steps in case something does happen. And
I think
it'll be a natural transition, I think.
Was that your hand, Steven?
Oh, it's on his shoulder.
All of a sudden, there's this.
My hand.
Reach
Katie,
around.
I think they have a phenomenal opportunity right now, because we already know that they're planning a multiverse live-action Spider-Man franchise movie. And I think with Black Panther, if they involve Shuri into that multiverse, we could have a separate franchise in that universe with a Miles Morales Spider-Man, which in the comic has really amazing moments, but like that would be killer, because then you'd have the young dream team of Shuri and Miles. But like, I think they could easily go that way. I think they've set the movies up, even if they don't go that way, to have her working with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. They could go any way they want, because she's literally been set up to inherit the mantle. I honestly thought at the end of the last movie, I thought, hey, Black Panther 2, she's gonna be Black Panther. She's gonna be Queen.
I thought they might have changed the comic a little bit, because a young African American woman became the next Iron Man in the comic books. In like, I think in one version of Iron Man, I thought that Shuri was going to wear the Iron Man armor, because since Iron Man has passed, that would have been cool too. But I think it's better that she becomes Black Panther. I think that's very cool and very just poignant. Hey guys, I do want to we got to get to the end here. There's one more thing I want us to talk about, and I'm going to pull. I think I have a picture here. Hey, Katie, tell us a little bit about.
Okay. So the second part that you put on our little like discussion topics, I had not seen that.
I was hoping you didn't read that. I shouldn't have said that. I wanted you to see this.
So I did hear about the supernatural, like in the sense that Jensen Ackles gets to keep Baby, the Impala. I did see that
this fall. With it starts in October and ends in November with their
October 8th as the season premiere, or the second part of the season premiere, and then it all ends on November 19th. And I've been really emotional this week. Jensen and Jared and Misha have all posted posts about how they started filming the very last episode of Supernatural. And they've all been making me more emotional, being that I was at that. I'm a huge fan, and then also I was at that final Comic-Con panel. And I guess up until now, their episodes have always said to be continued. And Jensen made a post saying, this episode, the script says the end. And I was like at work, like, I can't cry right now. Like, I'm at work, I can't cry. But then he did post later on that, like, you know, when shows end or a movie ends, you always have that, did the actor get to keep anything? And he did get word that he gets to drive away with Baby, the Impala.
Wow.
So, which they auctioned off.
in a museum.
There's multiple. So it makes sense that he's allowed to keep it, because, you know, they did give away one at Comic-Con last year to a fan that asked a question. There's multiple versions of it. But, I mean, he earned it. After all that time, like, if he didn't get to keep the Impala, it'd be kind of messed up. But I had not heard.
Wait. So this is the big news that he said. This was in a podcast he said just this week. What was it he said, Katie?
Okay, so I'm going to read this because you sent it. It says, first of all, I did not see the final trailer. I think I'm just waiting. I need time. I just need to prepare. Anyway, I've always thought that there's a possibility of 5 years down the road getting the call saying, hey, let's do a little short order action for a streaming network and bringing it back for 6 episodes, said Ackles. Ackles went on to add, I do feel like this isn't the long goodbye right now. I feel like this is, let's hang this in the closet for now and we'll dust her off down the road a bit.
Yeah, so he basically comes out and says, this is just a break. We're taking a break for a bit of time.
So can I this is what I've wanted for a few years now. Love Supernatural, but I think they need to do a movie. An actual movie. I would love to see them do a reunion movie. Honestly, I think it'd be the best way to end it completely. You would get to see Sam and Dean in a different light because it's not on network TV. You'd get to see them be more mature. You'd get to see them do more blood. You'd get to see them do more action. You'd get to see them cursing. And I feel like will feel more natural and real than sometimes the CW makes it feel because they have restrictions. So I would love to see that. And I don't know how I feel about it. I have mixed feelings because, like, part of me is like, don't continue it and totally mess it up.
Yeah,
but
we're going to see Jensen Ackles do plenty of cursing on the boys, I'm sure.
So excited. But yeah, so I do trust that the showrunners of Supernatural know how to do that if they do bring it back.
Do you think it's odd though that he said this? Because does this give away like the end? In other words, they don't die. A lot of people think it's their final death.
They're never dead. They can die, but
Well, they died multiple
the
times
thing.
in the show. I know.
Just because I do think it's going to end. I'll do a prediction. I do think someone needs to die. I do think Sam or Dean needs to die at the end of it.
Or Castiel.
There's no Castiel's not enough stakes. It's not enough stakes if Castiel dies. He's an angel. The biggest crutch that they have is each other. Sam, in my opinion, is the one who. I don't like to think about the finale because I don't know how I think the perfect ending would be. I honestly don't know. But I think Sam dying is the only way that Dean is going to move on and do other things with his life. And I know that you guys do not all watch Supernatural, but
I do.
There was one season where he did live the domestic life. He had a girlfriend and she had a kid and they lived together. And it was one of the favorite arcs in Supernatural history that everybody loves. And we want to see her again. And the best that I can think of is it'll kill Dean to see his brother die. But Sam, he's already lost everything. He's okay with dying. So I think Sam dying, Dean riding off into the sunset with the Impala with her in the car with him is an ending. And can you have a movie or a continuation without Sam? No, but I'm sure they could be like, this happened before the show ended. You could always do things like prequels or stuff like that. So,
but they've been dead multiple times. It's not like they can't come back over and over.
Someone does need to die officially, at least for a while. Like they need to die officially.
By the way, because I have not seen it in about probably a year. Is it true that they're out to kill God right now? Is that what the series is about?
Okay, so
don't
yes.
ruin it for me. Just in a very short summary.
Very short. God is the bad guy in this final season.
Wow, that's ballsy.
Basically, God is
on 2020.
Yeah, 2020. God's revenge is 2020.
Basically, God is the villain in the sense that he's saying there's an end.
Hello.
There's an end to Sam and Dean's story. And basically he's like, I know the end of your story. This is how it ends. And I wouldn't say he is they are trying to kill him, but he's also trying to kill them. So it's kind of both of those things. Which is a very interesting arc. I actually been very happy with the way the season has been going. Because I love the actor who plays God a lot, and I'm glad that they brought him back in.
And for those of you who are watching and you listen to the show, you listen to the podcast, and you pay attention to theconguy.com, Katie has promised to put together a list of the essential episodes to get us ready for this final, I think it's 6 episodes of Supernatural.
I will try to do that since now that we have an actual premiere date. I will try to get that done because a lot of people are still furloughed. It would take a while to catch up on the entire series because there are 12 seasons. The only issue is that I believe the first part of the season is still not available on Netflix because it's technically not the end of the season. So that's the only tricky one. But I'm going to try to composite a list that's like, if you did have to buy one episode, like which one to get. That's but cool. It's hard. It's hard.
You said 12 seasons. They're in season 15.
No, they're not in season 14. 14?
15.
Damn. Is it 15? I don't even know anymore. Okay, hold on.
2005.
If you're gonna pitch the show to somebody, Katie, how would you pitch it? Is it like a Supernatural show with the personality of Psych? Like, what is it?
2 brothers with deep voices.
I'd say
Dean didn't start out with a deep voice. It's got deeper.
I think for me it would more be like words, not a full statement. I think it would be family over monsters or family killing monsters. I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I've had a margarita. My brain's a little.
Two brothers who grow up as in a monster hunting family. They go off to kill monsters. That's the.
Well, I mean, they've always said, the family business.
It's the family business.
Saving people, hunting things. The family business. I mean, that's kind of says it.
All right.
And they're from Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we got to kind of wrap up tonight because it's getting late, and we want to What is that?
It's a
The
kitten.
cat. Ryan's kitty. Ryan's girlfriend's kitty.
Ryan's kitty.
Are you sure that's a cat? Oh, there it is.
Yes,
Put it
it's a
in
cat.
Close-up.
Oh,
That's so
Good-looking
cute.
kitty.
oh, Ryan, thank you for sending that in. That's awesome. Yes, Amanda has a better explanation. A sexy monster hunter cat. And of
I
course,
mean-
yummy.
CW, no one's found it yet, but I think we all know CW has like their own breeding grounds for their talent.
Yeah. Hey, listen, this has been a fun show tonight. Steven, I'm so glad you stopped by. This has been great. Luke, before we go, though, can you give us, maybe you and Ben, a preview of some of the shows that are, some of the podcasts, the interview shows that we have coming up?
I don't know. What do we have coming up?
Good.
Things we've already taped or things that we haven't taped yet?
We have a couple of things we've already taped that we're going to be dropping into our special 45th anniversary of Jaws. These are cool interviews we did.
Yeah, we have a special Jaws unrated episode coming out this week. We have this guy that we called Fandome on. He was hilarious, but he like grew up like on Martha's Vineyard, and his dad. His stepdad painted the shark and everything, but he was just very uncensored and very hilarious. So
what's his name?
David Hamblin. So we call him Hambone. But he was hilarious. And then this week we're doing some interviews, probably putting out next week. We're interviewing Pat Jankowitz, who does a lot of like horror media, like reporting, but has also been in horror movies. He played Bigfoot in a movie, and
Hope that we just watched this weekend. It's over the top. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then we're bringing on the director and a couple of cast members from a movie called Fang, which is he's actually an autistic, Asperger type director, and then he even has a character in his film. So it's really cool that he directed a film, and it looks really interesting.
It's a film about an person who has Asperger's who gets bitten by a rat, and he thinks he's turning into a rat, kind of like the old Kafka metamorphosis story. But it looks really cool. It's got some cool actors in it, and we saw some of the cinematography. It's really interesting, and his name's Richard, and he directed it. It's so interesting that this guy with Asperger's directed this, and we talked with them. Fascinating thing. So we look forward to talking to him about that. But Pat Jankowitz, I got to tell you, we've talked to him 2 or 3 times getting ready for the interview. This guy is nuts. It's probably the most fun we'll ever have on an interview. He has his own radio show that he's been doing. It's on hiatus because of COVID. He's been in a bunch of films. He used to be one of the main reporters for Fangoria. He'll tell you why Fangoria. He goes, Fangoria went out of business because they had a groping problem. I'm like, for God's sakes, dude, calm down. It's allegedly. Gosh, I'm going to get us in trouble here.
We are live now. Oops.
Sorry, I never said that.
So that implies allegedly.
Another news.
No, put that away. I don't want to hear about shark attacks right now.
What does that have to do with anything?
But anyways, I shouldn't have said that because I don't think he's going to bring that out. Maybe we'll cut that if we ever release this on audio. But anyways, Pat Jankowitz is crazy. So that's coming up. We have some cool Jaws interviews coming up, and we are working on some cool Power Rangers reunions here on the show. That's going to be fun. And then I know that we are wanting to celebrate Back to the Future, the 35th anniversary next month, it being October, the month that the movie is occurring, even though it kind of released a couple of months ago. So we got some cool stuff coming up. I'm really excited about it. All right, Steven, where can people find you if they want to find out what you're up to?
They can't.
Good. You're in the bunker, right? You and Joe Biden.
They can find him in the movie The Fifth Element.
That was not a political statement. It was just meant to be funny. Come on.
See, at first when I saw Steve when he came in, I'm like, oh, he should totally do this for Halloween. Do the Marty.
I'm gonna get the Marty. I'm gonna get some kind of Marty McFly. Oh, I'm gonna be Marty McFly. Yeah.
Now I think you should do the Bruce Willis in The Fifth Element with that shirt.
She can be Lulu from Fifth
Can
Element.
you please introduce your better half who's sitting here right behind you?
Oh, this is Summer. She's hanging out right now.
Summer, good to see you
Hi,
again.
Summer.
She does special effects makeup.
Oh, we're going to get her on the Scare Guy show, by the way. We want to get her on the Scare Guy.
Hopefully pre-con she can make Luke look like something.
A shark.
A shark.
Or I can, yeah.
You and Katie can get together and make Luke into something.
She can make Brad look like his profile picture. Love you, Brad.
Brad's gonna hate you. Oh my god.
Oh
Hey,
man.
Katie, where can people find you online if they want to see what you're doing?
You can find me all at the KT_Christine, which it says on the bottom. I also do streaming on Twitch at later at night after work, so you guys can find me there. I'll probably try to also do some streams from the Con Guy Twitch because we just created a Twitch for the Con Guy.
I'm also how to make that work.
I am also going to be submitting to become a host for the newly upcoming G4 TV. They're rebooting it, the gaming network. So I'm going to try to be putting that up. So follow me on Twitter. You guys can help me support me by retweeting that. And I'm also doing social media for the Con Guy. And we have some awesome other appearances we've made recently. Luke, Jim, and Ben and I have been doing other podcasts and things. So we'll definitely try to be putting those links out so you guys can catch us there.
Naughty language. Naughty language.
We love you,
He needs his
Brad.
vitamins and his prune juice.
Brad, we love you.
Actually, he needs his Kit Kats.
All right.
Hey, I have Kit Kats, Brad. See? You can have Kit Kats.
Luke.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
sorry. Cheeseman, where can people find you?
Well,
Katie,
first of all-
stop, real quick. Did you say that G4 is relaunching?
Yes.
Yep.
Next
Yes.
year.
So,
Yes.
hey, Manda, we're not going tonight, but we'll let you know as soon as we head back to Casa.
Yeah.
Yeah, G4 is relaunching, and it's approximately 2021. But they put an open call out to find hosts. You basically just tweet out an audition video, and they're looking for hosts for a couple of the shows that they're going to come back with. So I'll tweet about it. I'll send a tweet out on the Con Guy.
But more
Jim,
importantly,
what we gotta do?
Kit Kat
What?
were announced today according to Brad. He would know.
Jim, you know the next Casa? 6 laptops at the Octagon table. We still do StreamYard from the table, so you get 6 different views of Casa Vega in the background.
Yeah, that's what we've always wanted.
All right, Cheeseman, where can people find you?
You can find me here at Cheese on Couch on Twitter and on Instagram, and also theconguy.com and thescareguy.com. Happy Halloween, people.
Oh, I know it's Halloween season. You can find me. I'm going to let Ben take us out because he's so good at that. OMG, Brad. Listen, you guys can follow me at Jim Fry LA on Twitter, James D. Fry on Instagram, or follow us right here on theconguy.com. We'll try to bring you as much content as we can while you guys are locked up inside. Fingers crossed we'll get out of this soon. All right, Ben, take us home, man.
87 minutes later.
Good.
We're in minute 88 of the podcast. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in tonight for tuning into the Con Guy Happy Hour, a much more loose and fun and less organized, and Jim interrupting and extending the podcast by 25 minutes version of the Con Guy, as always, right here on that #show network. And as always, brought to you by Neft Vodka, reminding you to please drink responsibly. And I guess the last thing I'll say is, hey, man, like, we all think this virus sucks. And I guess all I got to say is we hope we can do things. Let's be safe about them. Be courteous and kind to your fellow man. We're all going to get through this, but we got to get through it together. And I love you all. And remember, I'm drinking out of this red cup because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. You can find me online at
And take your vitamins, kids.
No, Ben,
KLIEWER on Twitter and Gmail. And don't let Jim say any more things.